Hello gamers. Hello ladies and gentlemen, One Gamer and his dog here. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Nintendo announcement that came out yesterday on the 17th of March. So I'm going to be checking my phone, so I've got my notes on here. Talking about what's happened. Just to give you kind of a little bit of background on me, I've just recently been appointed to do a lot of the Nintendo reviews for the Wii U and the 3DS for the Daily Express website, so that's express.co.uk. I may also be doing some work for the Daily Star website as well, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. So, one of the first pieces I wrote for this site recently was on the Wii U in 2015 and whether or not you should buy it or not. My review came down to me going, yeah, I think you should buy it. It's a great console. It's got a lot of good things going for it, and the games library as well has been getting stronger with the announcement, with the release of Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Hyrule Warriors, and also as well, you know, we've got the Zelda coming up, the Yoshi's Woolly World, and Kirby and the Rainbow something or another. So I was like, yeah, you should get it. It's a great bit of kit. I'm really enjoying it. However, then Nintendo threw out their curveball today. So I've just written a comment piece on this, but as some of you may have known if you read my Wii U review, grammar's not my strong point. I'm actually quite dyslexic, so I find it easier actually talking about it. So I wrote something up, so I just thought I'd do sort of a video presentation on it. For one, it's easier for me to talk about it verbally, and secondly as well, for those of you who don't like reading, hey, you can just watch this video. So, let's get to the gist of it. So the big thing was Nintendo on Tuesday, all of a sudden there's this hastily announced press conference coming out with the main point of it being they're going into a joint game venture with, I think it's DENA Games, a Tokyo-based game company, mobile game company, to get into a joint partnership, so they're going to be releasing some mobile games. They've said they're not porting anything over. What they have said, it's going to be new exciting game experiences using their existing IP. I read this to be as we as Nintendo are getting into the free-to-play market because we see there's a lot of cash there. And just to be clear, no, you will not be getting a Pokemon mobile game. That was kind of how I took it. Sorry, I'm just moving the dog out of the way because I just realised you could all just see a glorious bumhole on your monitors and phones and however you're watching this. So, so I was brought into this thing. So, you know, I was born in the 80s, I'm a child in the 90s, so obviously, you know, I grew up on Nintendo. I had the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the N64. I actually skipped out on the GameCube, and I came to the Wii quite late to the party. The reason why was because I think all gamers kind of go through a period in their teen years to their 20s where they're like, oh, Nintendo's just for babies and it's a children's machine and it's not for, you know, the hardcore gamers, which was definitely my mentality. I got into that routine. However, my views actually changed when I started watching Yahtzee's reviews, because, you know, if you ever watch a Yahtzee review, I think his main point is the game fun? And if it's fun, it's good, regardless of what it is. And I sort of realised a lot of what he was saying and made him right. So I started focusing on games that are fun. And I started realising Nintendo make fun games. That's one of the things they do really well. And they do better than anyone else. So I ended up buying the Wii U and then came quite late to the Wii party. While they were doing this announcement about mobile games, they also turned around and went, oh, by the way, we're releasing a new console as well. What they actually came out and said in the official English translations come out by Nintendo that, here we go, as proof that Nintendo maintains strong enthusiasm for the dedicated game system business, let me confirm that Nintendo is currently developing a dedicated game platform with a brand new concept under the development code name NX. It's too early to elaborate on any details of this project, but we hope to share some more information with you next year. It was a bit puzzling because it was kind of like, I don't think anyone was going to necessarily, I mean, people were probably going to come out and question whether or not Nintendo were actually going to be focusing on the consoles. But I think we were more focused on, are you still going to be supporting the Wii U, not are you doing something else, which is what they've said they do. So the question is, are Nintendo going to abandon the Wii U? And in 2015, should you not now buy a Wii U? the Wii U's a funny console. You know, a lot of the AAA developers and publishers ran away from the console quite early on. You know, I mean, Ubisoft done some stuff with it, so did Activision and EA, but they've all kind of just gotten out of it. They don't want to work with it at all. But to be honest with you, I mean, do we really care that they're not on the system? If you look at what they're pumping out at the moment on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, it's the same games. You know, they're marginally updated with a few improvements, but they're not really doing anything innovative these days. And the Wii U, because of the gamepad, is something that needs innovation done to it. You know, you can do a lot with that second screen experience. I think the Nintendo DS really showed that off. These guys are not doing anything with it. So I wasn't really too bothered about them not getting third-party support, because it's mainly going to be, you know, the best games that come out are going to be the ones made by Nintendo. I think one of the differences that's happened in recent years is that, you know, we all know about, we've had the rise of sort of the indie game developers who are doing some really great stuff. And, you know, Nintendo have come out in the past and said, we really want to work with you guys. You know, we're going to do anything to kind of help. I think they released the code framework and some of the development software tools for free, and they said that, you know, we can sort something out for the actual console development kits. But nothing really of note has come out on the console, and particularly nothing that's really shown off what it can do. And I keep coming back to the gamepad, because that is the main selling point of the Wii U, is the gamepad. It's the second screen functionality. And I talked about this in my 2015 thing about Penny Arcade's comic, where they said about, you know, do a Dungeons and Dragons game. Do a proper RPG game where 4 players can use the Wii remotes to go around the world, and the Dungeon Master can control it on the gamepad. You know, it's a brilliant idea. It's great, but we've not had anything like that. And there's been kind of mixed signals from indie developers. You know, there was that anonymous guy who came out, or that was a guy who was anonymous, who came, he wasn't a member of Anonymous, or he may have been, I don't know. But there was a developer who came out who chose to remain anonymous and said the whole process was really hard to develop for, and it was a real pain, and he's staying away from it pretty much. And then you had some other developers come out responding to that, going, well, actually, no, it's fine to develop for, we don't have any problems, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, yada, yada, yada. But you know what? There's not a lot of indie games coming out for it. We haven't seen a lot. There's, you know, nothing really that good. A lot of them have been ports of already existing, quite successful indie games. And, you know, if you want to play great indie games, you know where to go. You go onto Steam. There's a lot of great stuff on there. There's also a lot of bad stuff on there as well. But, you know, there's great reviews on YouTube around who will do the kind of like the research for you and the review work for you, so you know what to avoid and what to have a look at. You know, so Nintendo can only really do this themselves, and the only sort of big release they've got coming out is what comes out on Friday, 20th of March for Europe, is Mario Party 10, which I'm going to be getting. I think I'm getting the special edition version of it, so I'm going to be doing an unboxing video, and I'll also be doing like I'll be doing a review about it. But then after that, that's it really. The only other next big release, I mean, all right, there's the before I forget, not to annoy anyone, and I can't even remember what it's called now, because I'm not the biggest fan of JRPGs, but the Chronoblade one that's coming out, you know, that was a big deal on the Wii when it didn't get released for UK, and then there was the petitions and everything like that. So I think there's a sequel for that coming out, so that's big. But the other 2 games they've announced, and one of them's got a definitive date, is the Kirby game. That's Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush, which actually has got a date, and Yoshi's Woolly World. Now the thing about these 2 games is I worry about them, because you look at the 2 characters that are leading these games, Kirby and Yoshi, and typically enough, these are the I've described them as the harbingers of the Myers of the console for Nintendo. You know, if you look back at the history of these game releases, all of them have been released, you know, they've always released a big game for these guys, always towards the end of the console life cycle. You know, Yoshi on the NES, Kirby's Adventure on the NES, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Adventure on the Super Nintendo, Kirby Superstars on Super Nintendo, Yoshi's Universal Gravitation on Game Boy Advance, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror on Game Boy Advance, and Kirby's Dream Collection on Wii. They didn't actually do that. From what I can see, they didn't actually do it for the GameCube. But they've always been this, like, we're coming to the end of the life cycle. All of them games are great, and they're all ones, because they come quite in late, they always really show off what the console can do towards the late stages. But you kind of want to go out for that strong. They really are we are going to wrap this up, so here are these last few ones. Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart were the last hope for us. And I know a lot of Nintendo fans, if you're watching this video, you're going, no, there is still Legend of Zelda. I don't think that's going to be the saviour. If anything, I think that's going to be kind of like the Charon of the Nintendo. This is going to be the game that's going to cross us to the NX, whatever it is. Because do you remember what happened with Twilight Princess? It was like the last game on the GameCube, first game on the Wii. It was something that had been announced quite early, I believe, in the GameCube life cycle, and we all knew we would get a Zelda game anyway. There was Wind Walker. It was great, but a lot of people were like, they wanted a bit more of a realistic style, and I think Nintendo knew that. So I'm actually not holding out hope on seeing that Zelda game released this year. I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to hold that back because they're going to need a big release for the NX, and I think that's going to be the next one. I don't think a new Zelda game, I don't think necessarily is going to move some units of the Wii U. It will move a few, but it won't move as much as Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Did. It's not going to move that many. So what it kind of means is that, they've announced the consoles, they've announced they're going to reveal stuff next year, which everyone's taking to mean they're going to be releasing stuff at E3 2016. I doubt they're going to be going for a autumn-winter 2016 release of the console. I'm probably thinking this is more going to be around about 2017. I'm thinking it's going to be them. I don't think they're going to release anything to them. Because one of the things about Nintendo is that they've got what Jim Sterling pointed out in his Jim Inquisition show about Square Enix. They love to announce things. Nintendo love going, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and they announce things that either A, you're going to never get to see the light of day, or B, they get released but never completely around the world. So the 64DD, the Wii Vitality Sensor, the TVII thing, or TV, however you pronounce it, for the Wii U, that's been completely cancelled in Europe. And there was that time they were going to make a CD add-on with Sony for the Super Nintendo. That never really worked out. And as well, like if you look at their history with sort of the N64 as well, they announced that really early. I do think they announced in 93 or 92, they said we're working on something, we're doing something. And then it was the Ultra 64, and then it just kept getting pushed back and back and back. And I think they even announced Dolphin quite early into, and Dolphin ended up being GameCube quite early into the N64 life cycle. So I think E3 is going to be a really interesting one for Nintendo this year. And there's a lot of speculation about what they're going to announce, because I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, what's going on with the Wii U? What's going on with the Wii U? So the theories are at the moment they're going to be announcing a new Metroid, Super Mario Galaxy 3, a Pokemon game for consoles, but not proper Pokemon, kind of like Pokemon Stadium or something like that, kind of like a fighting kind of one, and the Star Fox one, which, based on what happened with Star Fox 2 on the Super Nintendo, again, that's another worrying thing that they could potentially be announcing. If they announce that they're going to be putting on the DS and the N64 libraries onto the console, great news, wonderful. I'll be really happy about that, because I really want to play Professor Layton on my Wii U, because it's one of my favourite game series. I loved it on the DS, and I really want a console version. If that's a console version, that would be amazing. And if Nintendo wanted to sell Wii U consoles, we all know how they'd do it. All they would have to do is say, and this is something so many people on the internet have been saying for years, is go, we are releasing a Pokemon MMO only for consoles. That will shift Wii U units completely. But I don't ever think they're going to get into that MMO market, because, and I mentioned this in my 2015 review, They like to keep a hold over their intellectual properties, and they're very careful about the online communities, and I don't think they want to deal with the hassle that a Pokemon MMO community could be in terms of monitoring it completely in real time. So the big thing at the moment is the Wii U, is it still worth buying? Is it worth just leaving this now and abandoning it and going, well, the NX is coming out, so what's the point? I don't think so. I'd still say the Wii U is worth a buy, because the thing about Nintendo is that they make games to last, and they make fully complete games, and when they do DLC, it's not just something that should have been in the game in the first place. It's actual proper enhancements to the game. Again, if you check out Jim Inquisition, he's done a big thing about Nintendo and their DLC, particularly around Hyrule Warriors, and he says it better than I ever could, so check that video out. But yeah, I think that we as a gamers, as a community, and just generally in our collective subconsciousness, we've kind of got to this point where if something's been out for over a year, it's not good and it's not worth playing anymore, because we're so used to now the October, November dump of games from Ubisoft, Activision and EA that we forget that some of these games are really good and you can still replay them, because we're used to these marginal little updates. Whereas 2-3 years from now, I'm still going to be playing Super Smash Bros. I'm still going to be playing Mario Kart. I probably would have just got to the point where I'd had the time to get all of the collectibles in new Super Mario Bros. And also as well, there's that Nintendo and Super Nintendo eShop library I need to get through, which I really hope that anything I've purchased on that will be going over across to the new system, because I really want to replay Earthbound again and things like that. I do think that they need to expand that eShop quite a bit. So yeah, that's kind of my views and opinions on this new NX console. Well, and is the Wii U worth still buying? Yeah, I think it is. The NX console, I wouldn't really be too worried about it for now. I don't think we're going to see or hear anything for a while. Nintendo's got, the Wii U's got a great library of games. Not the best library of games for a Nintendo console. No one's doubting that. But it's still got some really good stuff. And, unlike from the Wii, you don't have to deal with silly motion controllers anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it from me. Guys, if you agree, disagree, whatever with my video, my views and opinions, please leave a comment in the comment box below. Hopefully in the description it will come up with the written form of this video I've just done, my sort of formal commentary, or comment piece I should actually say. Yeah, so check it out. Please give me a subscribe as well if you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. In the meantime, I will leave you with all these little robots and my dog having a play, because although the internet loves cats, I prefer dogs, and I think there are people out there that like dogs, so this is going to be a regular feature of my commentary videos. Oh, there's Sackboy. Yeah. Remember? Where are they gone? Yeah, there they are. So yeah, this is going to be a regular feature of my video. So, Lily, come here. Good girl. Come on. That is a good girl. Good girl. Grab that toy. Get all the robots in handy. Give them a wave. Hello. Woohoo! Yeah. Destroy them. Come here. And there we go. There's a dog moving around a load of robots. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye.